The landlord preceded the friends across the landing, which was all that separated them from the apartments of the Count, rang at the bell, and, upon the door being opened by a servant, said, "I signori Francesi." The domestic bowed respectfully and invited them to enter. They passed through 2 rooms, furnished in a luxurious manner they had not expected to see under the roof of Signor Pastrini, and were shown into an elegantly fitted-up drawing-room. The richest Turkey carpets covered the floor, and the softest and most inviting couches, easy-chairs, and sofas offered their high-piled and yielding cushions to such as desired repose or refreshment. Splendid paintings by the first masters were ranged against the walls, intermingled with magnificent trophies of war, while the heavy curtains of costly tapestry were suspended before the different doors of the room. "If your excellencies will please to be seated," said the man, "I will let the Count know that you are here." And with these words he disappeared behind one of the tapestried portieres. As the door opened, the sound of a guzla reached the ears of the young men, but was almost immediately lost, for the rapid closing of the door merely allowed one rich swell of harmony to enter. Franz and Albert looked inquiringly at each other, then at the gorgeous furnishings of the apartment. Everything seemed more magnificent at a second view than it had done at their first rapid survey. "Well," said Franz to his friend, "what think you of all this?" "Why, upon my soul, my dear fellow, it strikes me that our elegant and attentive neighbor must either be some successful stock jobber who has speculated in the fall of the Spanish funds, or some prince traveling incognito." "Hush, hush," replied Franz. "We shall ascertain who and what he is. He comes." As Franz spoke, he heard the sound of a door turning on its hinges, and almost immediately afterwards the tapestry was drawn aside, and the owner of all these riches stood before the 2 young men. Albert instantly rose to meet him, but Franz remained, in a manner, spellbound on his chair, for in the person of him who had just entered he recognized not only the mysterious visitant to the Colosseum and the occupant of the box at the Teatro Argentina, but also his extraordinary host of Monte Cristo. Do we think Dante is so vain as to care about all of this stuff he lugs around with him? The richest Turkey carpets, the softest and most inviting couches, easy chairs, and sofas, tapestries, and paintings. They're surprised to see all this stuff under Signor Pastrini's roof, which means, obviously, that Dante is bringing it along with him. I mean, this is all a performance, right? I don't know, because we haven't known Dante, it feels like, for 10 years of his life at this point. Maybe he has become vain and materialistic. But this is all a set, I would assume. He's creating an atmosphere in which to dazzle and hold influence over others. This is how he plies people's minds with ideas, because he has money to back up what he says. You can imagine heads of state meeting with him and seeing all these things, military trophies and anything that could catch your eye. Would be like, wow, this man has seen and done it all. He must know what it takes to get to where he is. But a performance to what end? I don't know. And I can't speculate, nor would I want to. But Dumas, once again, ending a chapter right before he gives us even a morsel of dialogue from Dante. Just, here he is. He opens the tapestry and walks in the room. Look at the Count. That's the guy. But Franz, putting these 3 threads together, the man, the mysteriously shrouded man at the Colosseum, the vampiric ghoul that he saw at the theater, and of course, Sinbad the Sailor from the cave. I wonder what this means to Franz, knowing that all 3 of those have now collapsed into the same person for him. And more importantly, okay, he's now face to face with Dante. Why? What do you want to know? What's up, dude? Franz, what do you want out of life? You got the answer to your mystery. Kind of. One of your mysteries. What do you want from Dante? What are you going to ask him now? Can I get some more hashish? Can you be my dealer? I don't have a good supplier back in France. I don't know what he really wants. I've given up on knowing or speculating on what Dante wants out of Franz. But Franz, beyond his obsession, he's got to want something out of this, and that is something I don't fully understand at this point. But let's set Franz aside for a second and just acknowledge a pretty big moment here on the show that not only Dante, But the Count of Monte Cristo has entered the room for the first time. This is Leonardo DiCaprio pointing at the TV because the title of the book is now on screen. This is our introduction to the Count of Monte Cristo, and I can really sense Dumas' theatrical background here, because in theater you really want to emphasize entrances and exits. You hear that a lot when you talk about classic Hollywood, when you talk about the stage. Go watch the movie All About Eve. Listen to Bette Davis in that. That's one of the things that makes memorable characters. Delay an entrance to an important character and then really do what you can to make their entrance a showstopper. And that's essentially what he's doing with Dante here. The glitz, the glamour. If this was 2026, paparazzi, flashing bulbs, perhaps a TV crew following him into the room. Then he turns and looks at the camera, smiles, blinding glint off of his white teeth as he winks. The camera, the frame freezes, and we get a title card, The Count of Monte Cristo, with some, funky interstitial music. Do-do-do-do-do. Edmond Dante as the Count of Monte Cristo. Well, this is leaving us with a bunch of excitement going into chapter 35, which I have to assume is going to be a continuation of this scene. My God, if Dumas just decides to introduce a new character and a new situation right now, after what he's done with Franz and Albert and Vampa the last 2 chapters, oh my goodness, I please, Dumas, I'm asking you right now. I'm sending my prayers back through time to plead with you. Stick with this for just a second. Let me get some footing here and go into chapter 35 with some sense of continuity. But we won't know until tomorrow, because we don't take a day off here on the Countdown of Monte Cristo. And the only reason that we are able to do stuff every single day is from contributors and listeners like you. If you go to patreon.com/gruntworkpod, you can contribute to keeping the show on the air, keeping it ad-free, and helping us reach our goal. Gruntwork Podcast Network, which hosts Monte Cristo, as well as our other shows like Odyssey, is not out to make money. We just want to be net zero. We've been paying for the hosting of our shows out of our own pockets for about 10 years now. And we're at a point where it just only makes sense if we can continue to do this, continue to grow, because there's so much more we want to do, but we need to at least be breaking even before we can do new cool things. So you can go over to patreon.com/gruntworkpod, contribute for as little as $1 per month, but as much as you would like, and you can make all of that happen. But if you need a little trial run, I got good news for you. In May, we are going to be doing a supporter month. What that means is anyone who signs up for free at patreon.com/gruntworkpod at any time, including today, you can get access to literally everything we've ever done for 1 month only. For the entirety of Supporter Month. That means every single chapter of story-only audio. You can listen to this as an audiobook, chapters 1 through at least 34, straight through. You can get access to the short stories I've read, Algernon Blackwood, Edgar Allan Poe, some Grimm's Brothers are on there. And I got some stuff from the Tales of 1001 Nights lined up for Supporter Month. Because in addition to giving you everything for free, we're also going to be blasting the Patreon with new bonus content. It's a great time to sign up. We deeply appreciate it. Anything you can contribute goes such a long way to keeping the shows on the air and helping us grow into the cool stuff that we want to continue to do to provide to all you. And one more thing I'd like to mention here is just something you can expect coming up on May 8th. Just so you're not so thrown off when it happens, during Support Month, we are going to be doing crossover episodes. And I'm excited to announce that in collaboration with my other podcast, Movie Memory Machine, my co-hosts and I will be covering the Three Musketeers movie from 2011. The 3D one by Paul W.S. Anderson. We're going to be doing the Three Musketeers on that show, and that episode will show up in this feed. Because I think it's interesting how Dumas' work is adapted. And since I can't do the Count of Monte Cristo just yet, because I don't want to spoil the story for me, we decided to do the Three Musketeers. The whole concept of the show is that it's predicated on movies that time forgot. So, but I'm not going to give you the full pitch for the show here. Just want to let you know, May 8th, you have that to look forward to. It's going to show up in the daily feed. That's a Friday. We're going to take one day off from the story to release that episode, and then we'll be right back to it. So I just don't want you to be caught off guard when that happens. It's a fun episode. I can't wait for y'all to hear it. But of course, you can also rate and review the show, a one-word review with a 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts, on Spotify, wherever you listen to podcasts. You can subscribe to the YouTube channel. You can subscribe and comment on the YouTube channel, and share the show with someone you know who might like it. Send them the website, send them the podcast feed, send them the YouTube channel, because telling someone that they might enjoy the show actually gets them to listen, and then it's my job to keep them sticking around. A huge percentage of our listeners come from direct recommendations. So if you really want to help support the show, let someone you know about the show. Too many rhyming words in that sentence. I'm sorry. That is all I have for Chapter 34. Folks, we're done. Can you believe it? Chapter 34 has come to a close. 33 episodes long. And now we go directly into Chapter 35 tomorrow. Join me here then. Okay, goodbye. The Countdown of Monte Cristo is part of the Gruntwork Podcast Network. This show is produced, edited, and hosted by Landon Solano. The original text of The Count of Monte Cristo by Alexander Dumas. Theme song by Magic Solo. If you want to support the show and others like it, visit patreon.com/gruntworkpod. Thank you for listening. See you tomorrow.